Hey there everyone, this is Air.
And this is Lith.
And we're back with Danganronpa 2.
Go back into the trial.
Alright, so I went ahead and purchased a new skill here. So we added vocabulary to our skill vocabulary. Just gives me a couple extra bullets, or at least one. It doesn't exactly specify. But that's going to be helpful because I don't have to spend as much time reloading. Right, as for the case at hand, well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Nagito is trying to insinuate that this is a suicide, which almost guarantees it's not.
Yeah.
But even then, the circumstances of this are really bizarre for a suicide. Just the displacement of the bloody killer, the apparent murder weapon being completely clean, the alleged suicide victim being tied up. Unless someone really wanted to mess with the scene afterwards.
It would almost seem like that would be the case. Just to make it more confusing.
Given the setup of the environment at this point, we think that it's very likely that whoever did commit this managed to go through the final death room. Just because access to the two areas were locked off. We're pretty sure no one in Grape House did it, but Strawberry House didn't have access at the time, so the only way through is the route that Nagito took. So, Nagito has the means, but we're pretty sure he didn't go through that until after the murder had occurred. Gundam, it makes sense, the murder scene, because of how eclectic everything is. A lot of different precautions were taken in place, and so that makes sense for a team to handle. But I also can't see a way in which he'd get through the final death room. Granted, whoever did, obviously did, or else they'd be dead.
Yeah.
Soda, I have a much easier time believing would get through there, and would also murder Nekomaru.
Yeah, I mean, he does have some semblance of care when it comes to Mekamaru, but I feel like the mechanic side of him can kind of maybe dissociate with the fact that he's murdering, I'm making little quotation marks with my fingers when I say that, someone who's made of metal.
Mekamaru, we discussed, unless there's anything to add about him. Fuyuhiko, no, I can't see him doing that.
Yeah.
He definitely has the mindset to get through Russian roulette, but I just, considering what we know of his character, I can't see that at this point.
Yeah. He has too much to live for. I don't see him throwing away his life even in a scenario like the Russian roulette thing. I think he would consider it an insult to Peko.
Hey Feather, welcome to the stream.
Feather! What's up?
Akane, there is no way she would get through that room. I'm sorry. Chiaki is best waifu and she will never do any evil ever.
Yep.
Sonia, well, I wanted to disqualify her out of hand because she's from Grape Room.
But if the opportunity was even available to her, I don't see her doing it. Unless there's a whole backstory that was not foreshadowed in the slightest that could back up an innate skill of hers to be able to pull that off. I'm not saying it's not completely impossible. I would almost think it would be sloppy writing, that we have no sort of clue that even hints at something like that.
Hey James, welcome to the stream. And yes, we're at the Nekomaru trial. All that said, well, let's dive into a little bit of Mahiro sexism here. Whoever pulled this off needed to be plenty strong. So that's another hit against the Grape crew. Well, Akane, yes, Akane is definitely strong enough. But the circumstances in which we found his body is too weird.
Yeah.
I did bullshit stuff yet. No idea what you mean. So with that all out of the way, let's get this trial started.
Woo!
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Oh, do you mean the escape the room sequence? Yeah, we pulled that off with aplomb.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
That is a very sloppy cross-like X on Recon.
I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go! Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu!
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is.
Sentiment appreciated. Hopes not very high. Sorry.
I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Oh my gosh.
That's part of why.
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
We're in the same dorm.
Yes.
I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Ooh.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes.
Excuse me, I will point at several of the other murders for reference. Bullshit, Akane. Bullshit.
One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
Also, of all the chicks, you are the highest suspect.
Yeah, like, you're the only one more physically capable of doing this.
You're the cruelest one here!
Oh, assuming that she's the one who did all that. Nekomaru was in the same room.
Now. Enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon.
Wow.
Cool.
For someone who actually, for someone who really, really wants to hit on her, that is gotta be the most low, insult I've ever heard.
You gotta understand, he's applying negging. Exactly.
Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
The perfectly clean hammer? You can tell what the weapon is just by looking. It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably...
New looking hammer. There it is. I hope he's pointing this out because of how obviously it's not
Guess
the
we should
weapon.
figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
Thank you, Akane.
No, the hammer.
Ah! Soda,
The
no!
killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
No. Soda, I'm actually surprised at you. You're the one that's able to analyze mechanical body damage quite well.
The hammer in the tower was a weapon. Like he said, it looks like that's the case, but... just want to make sure that there is some text on here that refutes it. It was completely clean, almost as if it was brand new. Yep.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer. The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
No, that's wrong! No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body. Just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
Yep.
Pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangster? Me?
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
You're definitely not trying to lead us astray with red herrings.
Seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
The actual weapon has oil on it. Something at the crime scene that had
Pillar
oil on
had it.
I see! The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon! Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar!
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
You can make it fall on them.
We tried to move it, right?
It's no use, it's barely budging!
Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body! With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Well, I guess you're right.
He could have, like, he could have lost his grip on it. Like, she was going in a feasible direction. She just was wording it wrong.
But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. By the way, the fourth murder of the killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. Huh? No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Dropping.
Huh? For reals?
but the position of the body doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless they move the
for
body.
reals.
But there wasn't blood to indicate that. Or oil, sorry.
See, so my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
Cute. We playing as her?
No.
Darn.
Button oil on the floor.
Wire?
Well, that's the wire tying him up.
Oh.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl.
What if
I'm getting hella excited.
what if the wire was used to pull on the pillar and Nekomaru was used as the method of force? Notice it was wrapped around his foot.
Hold on. Killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over that pillar. Is that really it?
See?
Oh, hold on. So there is a noose there. It is definitely not large enough to contain that pillar.
Let's see. You see, there are two wires. There's one on his foot and there's one around his torso.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it's tied like a noose, that doesn't mean that it was used like a noose. It's just, it's a loop.
But still, the positioning is wrong. The only way that Nekomaru could have died in the spot we found him in, and that pillar ends up like that, is if there was some mad bouncing going on, which, one, super heavy pillar, probably didn't bounce very far. Two, the probability of it realigning with a pillar which would itself have had to have been knocked out of its normal path, normal trajectory, it's way too improbable.
What about the shifting floor? Would that complicate things?
Shifting floor. Everything on top of the floor should be able to remain relative, though. There weren't any seams in the floor, so it's not like these parts are shifting on their own. And you're definitely not rotating this thing fast enough that that pillar can move out of place. And given where the oil is all located, Nekomaru probably didn't move either.
Well, the pillar definitely fell over. I just don't think it was the murder weapon, but it could have been disguised as it? I don't know. He still took quite a beating. I don't know how he managed to take him out then.
There were pieces underneath Nekomaru, which has to mean that, well, it's implying that the pillar broke first.
Which would, okay, we can use that.
Possibly chipped it first.
We can use that, meaning that if his body falls after, then the pillar can't
Actually,
be the weapon.
Is this one of the clues? Because if so, that's
Pillar
a really
fragments.
damning thing. The area of the pillar was also stained.
Two people complexion.
Okay, well, let's see if those,
Can you go back to his body again? For a second? The one that had the, okay, hang on.
I think there's a better picture.
No, go back, please. Just to the body, his body parts are talked about. It's just color of charge, but it's doing damage beyond repair. So they're not actually specifying what kind of damage.
Well, it was definitely a blunt strike.
They don't say it, though. I mean,
But you can look at his head.
by something.
So the only things attached to his head are the sleep mode button, which would not rule him dead, and that giant impact, which also doesn't look very pillar-like. Oh, Nekomaru could have turned the wire around the body, both binding him and pulling the pillar. It is possible that he knocked over this pillar onto himself, but the placement still doesn't make sense yet. I wanted to pillar fragments, if that's the clue.
There's no need to
Yes.
lift
Yeah, they
that
are.
pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
No, that's wrong! If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Well, I was thinking this a bit before that, but this is just strengthening that cause. Sorry, Akane. I'm thinking that the pillar is another red herring.
Mm-hmm.
The impact site doesn't look like it could have been done by either the hammer or the pillar. It's more like a mace or something round.
Yeah.
You could manage that with a hammer, but you'd have to be using it like exactly the wrong way. Just like if you imagine that you hold the hammer up like a T, you lift it straight down instead of swinging it down.
That's also assuming that the killer is careless enough to leave the weapon there.
Yeah.
Fuyahiko pointed out a good point, that they could have just easily have disposed of it.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing to consider.
Why are you so certain about that?
I have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we? There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Wouldn't use the room rotation.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
There's something very weird going on with Nagito.
I know, it's really weird.
Hey, Nagito. What the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
Okay, specific item.
I keep thinking of that wire again. What if it was used to pull him apart?
The wire pulled him apart? I don't see how. Wait, did he have his chains? Is that what locked it up? Broken doorknob? Well, something definitely happened with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how it fits yet.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
Oh, that's what he's getting at. He didn't see anything that looked like the ultimate weapon because someone got there first.
Ah.
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over you, am the ultimate weapon.
Seriously, Gundam, shut up.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory.
What?
It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
Aww. Oh!
See? I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Oh, shut up, Soda.
Bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Don't bring me into this.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I leave this matter to your discretion.
The 2 houses are connected to the tower in the middle. I thought that at first too, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that.
Are we talking about the elevator turning?
Yes.
Clock, doorknob.
Strange feeling in the tower.
What? What was that again?
I also want to know for you because I can. Up here.
Because Nagito's sudden appearance.
Oh,
Is that?
that's really good. Okay, it's definitely strange feeling.
Okay.
Are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors.
Eh.
A little excited.
Damn it!
Oh, I guess we should. Oh, they don't do these. Okay.
Sodas.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are
James
actually the
gets
exact same place.
James making a good point. Soda's
Yeah,
So
but we don't
that's
have
the
this.
secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already settled this problem.
Right?
Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
It's gotta be the first one. This whole time we've been thinking the 2 towers are the same building, but was the only mystery? There's no way Nagito would mention it here.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No, that's wrong! Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hey,
Hajime,
what?
I
What?
won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
Yeah. The tower's turning.
It's Probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
That's how the saying goes.
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Bow down.
We're getting into an argument.
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Who?
Well, we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
And the oil stain?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Yeah, that didn't end well.
Crap. Oh, doorknob, maybe?
Yeah, there's that too, but...
Oil on the floor, too.
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
As expected of a princess, she's overcoming my arguments with great confidence. I need to counter her remarks. Wait for an opportunity.
There are many
to refute her.
different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Why can't I do more?
There are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Why
That's
can't I keep
weird.
going?
Is it not the right sword to use?
Well, even if that was the case, it'd still let me swing and miss.
There are many...
Oh, if you slash twice in the same direction, then slash in a different direction. I see.
Okay.
Oh, and right.
The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
There we go.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the... He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
Huh?
That's where I have to use my argument. No, there's definitely a hole in what she just said. You sure the evidence is
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
There you go.
Allow me to cut through those words. Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Huh?
When the position of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
Oh, and Sonia's gonna be the murderer one of these times, and she's just gonna rip him a new one.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the E-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building, or two different buildings, then what are they?
Maybe like with one of those rides, maybe it's not the middle that moves, it's the outside. It's rotating.
Okay, well, I don't think the houses can move at all.
I think they can't.
You can make that argument because we've got that very smooth elevator. It just doesn't make that much sense to move the entire houses when the elevator and the central room are much easier to move.
But that's what
ultimately we're getting the same effect here.
Well, I mean, I've seen rides like that at fairs. It's just imagine a much bigger one, and you know, this is a very outlandish game with a really, really weird fun park. I can see them having two very compact sections of a building, and those rotate slowly one way around.
No idea, huh?
This mystery ties into the secret of the funhouse. We don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then, the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues.
Hey, Nagito.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Thank you for being so generous, you schmuck.
For a moment there, I thought that Monami's sweating was bees.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly.
What?
It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determine? Is he talking about the traitor? If so, why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to him?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
You're saying you're the only one
who solved it?
The death room?
That could be a lie.
He performed the appropriate action in order to learn the secret. Could you be talking about Monokuma Taichi?
I see!
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Nice.
Yep.
Grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket. Oh, yeah, you have that.
See? This is it.
As he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again. I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
Okay. So you're clearly not on the first floor of the entire building.
But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
And that is very short trees. Lots of things that should make sense in this picture.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
So
It's
instead
also, the other thing is, It's all brick. It's not mechanical.
It's brick on the outside.
It is.
Is it possible that the elevator is moving back and forth, not up and down or rotating?
Well, it definitely has to rotate because Soda's compass changed direction. So the elevator definitely has to rotate. Either that or Soda's lying. But he wouldn't have a very justifiable reason to do that in that way. What doesn't make sense in this picture? Trees?
Here!
Huh?
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then, this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
I see. And is that it?
No, there's more things.
Nagito said there's lots of things that don't make sense in this photo. Which means there are other contradictions contained in it.
I guess the connecting
there.
part, yeah.
No, I guess not. This is Jackie.
Maybe a little bit over. Oh.
It's the tower, right? There's only one tower in the picture. That's what we've been thinking all along. Which means it's not unnatural at all, don't you agree?
Crap!
Oh.
No, that's
Wait.
the same thing. What about the connecting part?
Crap!
I tried clicking that.
No, you click kind of like at the
Oh, yeah, I
corner
clicked at the...
over here. What? Really?
Crap!
Okay, so... What's good?
Can't be the sky.
Here!
Really? Okay, I'm so confused now.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle. Which means, if you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Right, that perspective would line up with that.
But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
That's right. Good call.
Eventually.
In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student.
I said later!
Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
I'm talking about the broken doorknob. The other clue? Is he talking about that one time? Oh, hello there, Nahajime. Nagito! Why are you here? Because I showed up. You showed up. How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already.
So, hold on. For that to make sense, then that means Strawberry House is on top of Grape House. Okay. But the final dead room would then have to extend to a point where it's over Grape House. Oh wait, didn't he drop in on the second floor? There should have been a floor above that.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma Archive should be the only room on the 3rd floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Is that thing just now another hint to figuring out the mystery behind the funhouse's structure? The reason Nagito appeared from the 3rd floor. Using the photo he took, I might be able to find the answer if I just think about it. Alright? Let's do this.
Think.
Logic dive. Okay. Oops. Okay.
It's like, yeah, and we're dead.
Nope. Oh. Was not expecting that.
Pope.
Got my way, pillars. Strawberry House and Grape House both exist. They do exist. The question is this. Oh.
What?
Okay, jerk move.
Jump. Jump. Oh my gosh.
The same building or two different buildings? Based on that, they have to be different. No, they're the same building.
So technically Sonia was right at one point when she was saying they're the same building.
Too fast. Position with each other vertically.
Same building vertically.
It's all coming together. Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
You know what? No, I'm gonna hold on to it
In the
for a
picture
bit.
Nagito
Be a
took
jerk.
from Strawberry House, I didn't
Who are you
see
taking
Grape
for?
House at all.
Nagito?
So where did Grape House go? There is only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
Above Grape House.
I see! On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh, snap. I never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them. And it worked, didn't it? Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Monokuma is being very helpful right now.
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House, Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple. Alrighty then. I'll be the one who solves this mystery in a flash. Please watch me, Miss Sonia.
Oh, I see. Do whatever you like.
Oh, definitely make her watch me. I'm gonna stand out till she notices me.
Above the crowd.
Broken doorknob is probably... Wait, hold on. Is the chain still there? No, we took the chain off, that's why.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy!
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
Dummy of Nekomaru's body existed? Do you think the killer prepared it in advance? No.
No.
We have to prove it's... Well, there's so many conditional, or not conditional, but circumstantial things that prove that it's the same body. Just look at the room.
Mm-hmm. Like, that is some expertise replication there.
From the water. Here. This will be an impact. Body damage. So I don't think the wire is. The wire is probably the easiest thing to replicate with this whole scene. The pillar? Oh wait, this is probably still the door handle, isn't it?
Hmm.
Attached to that door. But is something like that even possible?
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then hurry up, dumbass!
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
You mean a fake body?
Nekomaru died with a mechanical body. It should be possible to construct a dummy from spare parts.
You're magnificent, Gundam!
No fair! You totally stole my spotlight!
Okay, so it's that first line.
So which one was the fake body?
Shut up! Just pick one of them!
Good night button?
I think it's the donut.
I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
Then
It could be
hurry
the
up,
tip of the
dumbass!
No, I think the doorknob is more useful here.
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
Nope.
Oh, hmm.
Damn it! I'm gonna solve this mystery in a flash.
What's strange feeling in the tower again? I might just be reusing that. Oh yeah, okay, definitely that. That
Yeah.
just sums it all up.
Yeah. It's too perfect.
One of the bodies in one of the towers was actually a dummy.
No, that's wrong! Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy. That can be proven by Kazuichi's account.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said...
Not just that. The parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body all moved too.
Right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke. You are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
Well, this seems to be throwing out my theory.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
A device like that? An elevator? A device that transports things to different floors in the same building. I feel like I've seen...
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I've seen that before. Alright, let's do this. Elevator, yep.
I got it! You must be talking about an elevator.
Don't sound so unsure, damn it.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
Grape/Strawberry Tower.
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator.
Though it also rotates.
So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower?
To mislead you?
Yeah, it's painted there.
And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower.
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right?
Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. So the doors are part of the cylinder that rotates. It's not just the floor. Which, yeah, that makes sense.
But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
Things that didn't change when we moved between the two towers.
Pillars.
That includes the body, the pillar, and the oil. We've been talking about that stuff for a while now. There shouldn't be anything strange about them. Not even the fact that they all moved with the elevator.
Maybe the wall moves.
Okay, yeah, the doors cannot be part of the cylinder that rotates.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought initially. So that means that the doors on the Strawberry Hall, or sorry, the Grape Hall, didn't have a missing one, and does that mean that Strawberry Hall wouldn't have been chained up? Well, considering we saw the chains attached to Nekomaru, I'm wondering if maybe Nekomaru did that for some reason. Just lock off that, not knowing how the tower worked.
Possibly.
But what would keep them from... Oh yeah, they broke the button, that's why. Which you wouldn't have needed to break that button if you had chained up the door. That would have just been overkill. One thing these all have in common. Oh, a lot of these things.
I see!
Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
And?
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
Something unique about that elevator?
Only the floor moves? No, only the floor moves.
The elevator is unique because it's an enormous circle.
What's wrong with that? You noticed it too, right? That you just said something that doesn't relate to anything?
Damn it!
Right. I clearly made a mistake just now. Will you think it over one more time?
Only the floor moves. You can only enter one side. Floor moves.
I see!
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the 4th floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified. It was actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Eh?
Don't swoon over that.
No!
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
She's getting a sense of humor now. The robots are becoming self-aware.
Ah!
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
Like you said, I could probably use these parts to repair that button, but... Seriously, hold on. Even if you do repair the button, what's going to happen to the chain on the other side of the door? Chain? The door that leads to Strawberry Hall has a chain wrapped around the doorknob. Even if you fix the button on the Strawberry Hall side, the door won't open as long as that chain is there. You don't need to worry about that at all. Huh?
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse. The appearance of a body in the tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. The truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
Now I'm trying to piece together how that rotation of the elevator happened. It doesn't make sense for the main elevator, given what we know about the buildings now.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
I see. Now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then, when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side.
Okay, there we go.
But, does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does it mean?
I agree.
The floor rotates.
What does this mean? The two houses are connected vertically. The position of the tower should be the same in both houses. But in fact, My back was facing the elevator in Grape House. The tower was on my right. And when my back was facing the elevator in Strawberry House, the tower was on my left. How can I break through this contradiction? We have Kazuichi's testimony.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Oops.
Damn it!
I'm a little too excited.
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning...
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
That face keeps creeping me out.
Or did I just freeze?
Uh-oh. No! No!
Oh,
Okay, good.
Okay, it just stopped moving for some reason. Makes sense because the music wasn't skipping. Gundam and Sonya have matching arguments. It sounds like it makes sense, but... really correct?
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
Let me see Kazuichi's account. Maybe this contradicts the first one. It's around 180 degrees while it's inside the contact elevator. I mean, it's definitely the key here. Noise. Guess I gotta try it.
vertically, not horizontally.
Okay,
No,
there we
that's
go.
wrong. The elevator wasn't just moving vertically. Isn't that right, Kazuichi?
Huh? Me?
Come on. You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees.
Just like that transition.
It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's
Yeah.
like something from an amusement park.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder where we were.
Wow.
Well, a funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Gundam's already claimed being
You
the
still
ultimate
don't
weapon.
know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know?
Right.
Knowledge.
Really, it's just knowledge? I thought you were trying to implicate that earlier.
I don't know. Nagito's claiming he found something, and we didn't really see him find anything except other than the knowledge of what happened.
Not sure how that knowledge would help in this murder just yet.
What is the octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now.
I'm gonna smack you.
As long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
What an octagon means?
Eight-sided.
I see!
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
Congrats, you've graduated from primary school.
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
Throw something at him.
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Grape house.
No, that's a hexagon.
Oh, sorry.
Place befitting of the name Octagon?
Tower.
It's probably...
8 sides.
Yes.
So he's on top of the elevator?
Can I rotate this? We know it's attached to here.
So, it can be smaller than that.
You're right. Looks like I had a little misunderstanding.
Crap!
Ah.
Okay. And I'm out of time.
Tower.
It's not the tower, that's
there.
It's a cylinder.
So, it can be inside it. The point is, the octagon needs enough room to have 8 sides.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. You've totally given up on thinking and we're doing something else. Otherwise, there's no way you've reached the time limit for such an easy problem.
Crap!
And I'm almost dead.
I'm thinking it's a cylinder. It's like that big. It's roughly the size of a cylinder.
Oh, okay, hold on. So, maybe... What we do know is that you get there from Strawberry House.
Mm-hmm.
And so it shouldn't be the tower. Because you take a different route there.
But they're getting you for how many sides? That doesn't make sense. That's even less sides to work with.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically this is an octagon because it's got a front and back side.
I know, right?
Bottom, but,
and I mean, if you shrink it enough, it can fit in any of these sections. See, it's getting you with I'm thinking it's the tower.
I'll try it. It's probably gonna kill us though.
Yeah. Oh God. There's no octagon shape in this whole thing.
My next guess is that cube, but I thought that's supposed to be the elevator.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well check it out. We'll find out. Alright, alright. Yes.
We will never give up!
Okay, we're waiting on the health bar.
I guess we can point to the thing.
Okay, what am I missing here? I don't see any way to rotate this.
Crap!
Damn!
Rotate. Hold on. Hey Dan, welcome to the stream. Just let you know if I need a hint. Alright, well, thinking this through logically, we determined that it is either the 3rd floor of Grape House or it's inside of Strawberry House, because you have to get to the 3rd floor of Grape House through the octagon, more or less.
Maybe it's the bottom. Okay, wait a minute. I'm thinking it's the bottom floor of Strawberry House because remember the trap door? There's a trap door, which would mean that in order to get to a different room, he has to go down.
Yeah.
So if he ended up suddenly in Grape House, it would mean that he would drop down into Grape House.
And they're saying that he dropped in from the 3rd floor and walked to the 2nd floor break room rather than drop directly into the break room. The thing about that is I'm not sure where to place that, because we know that there's a section set off for the final death room or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But this leads me to believe that the octagon should be on the outside of the tower.
Alright,
I'll try one more thing, and then we'll get help from chat. That. Okay, that has the whole house. Please, chat. You're my one and only hope.
Crap!
Help us!
Hold on, chat delay.
I know. Where was your...
Was your reticle when you started off? You barely have to move it.
What? Are you seriously... What?
It is a picture on the model would show as an empty space. Okay.
Oh! This part? Right here? Between? That?
I guess that is a big empty space.
Right.
You won't get confused for the hexagon of the other room.
Ugh.
No.
You would. Great. So
Unfortunately, I don't have a reticle at a time where the timer isn't running, so I can't explain what I want to. But let's see. I thought I clicked over there. And also, you're saying that I barely have to move the mouse. It shouldn't be in the hallway. Click the yellow box. I tried that. It said it was the elevator.
we did actually. It said that it wasn't it. You want to try again? On the top of grape next to strawberry. On the outside of the hallway? Like that?
Crap!
Yeah. Well, I guess I pressed on the opposite side. So right here.
Here!
There we go.
I want to kill this model.
How is that the yellow box?
That doesn't make any sense.
Of the final dead room.
I do wish we had a floor plan so that those of us who hadn't committed that floor's layout to memory could figure it out a little easier. Oh well, it's done now.
Yep.
Why is that place the octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges.
Oh.
It becomes an 8-sided shape.
Oh, that makes sense. Because that's basically how the room was shaped, wasn't it?
But you could do that with any area. That's the problem.
Make an 8-sided shape out of it? No? It's fine.
Like, I mean, like, you could have had an 8-sided room in anywhere if you cut its edges in and shrunk it enough. That's the problem.
That's absolutely fine.
I'm not saying you can't do it this way, I'm just saying that there's a way you could have done it anywhere.
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room.
That makes sense, because we expected it was hanging off of the building because there wasn't enough room for the final dead room to have the puzzle room and the Octagon.
In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the Funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the Funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
Oh, okay. So...
They crushed
I don't think, like, the doorknob is an appropriate tool for this, but they weakened the stone pillar. They got Nekomaru into that room. They shut him down after they tied him up. And then when the broom was dropping and spinning, the pillar fell over.
Oh.
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building.
Though if they did use the door handle, that would explain it, the scratch marks.
But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime.
Don't get too excited now.
Yeah, you...
It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
Funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon? What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who's the killer who did that? Oh, suddenly we no longer need to be strong. But we do need to clear the final dead room.
Hiya!
Why, hello there! I thought of a new bad word to call Monami.
I can already tell I won't be pleased by this.
What was your first hint? Then let me say it right away!
I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word.
Monami is a serious Jufatli.
What? That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stufatli. Huh.
Stupid, fat, ugly.
That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all three of these would be... Ta-da! Stufatli!
You do realize we look so much alike. That would fit you as well. I mean... Where's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now. Monami is a serious Stufatli.
Hello, Kettle. I'm Black.
No, you're not. I'm black. You're some sort of hideous pink.
Only half.
Hello. I hope your day is well.
Well, one of our friends was murdered, and we've been starving to death, but otherwise, we're okay.
I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just go ahead.
She got over that quick.
She's not the type to really get hung up over anything.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekumaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
Could have fooled us earlier.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
It means take away. I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
Which means what he's getting at here is that they committed the murder so that not everyone would die. Which has been sort of the thought we've been floating this whole time. It also means Nekomaru could have done this to himself.
Could have.
It doesn't explain the wires and the sleep mode, though.
No.
No, it does explain the sleep mode. Because in order for it to move, there has to be no life signs going on inside that elevator.
It's possible he could have offered himself up. Because if everybody dies, he'll just be alone.
Though we do get into some tricky business here in that whoever presses the button to move the elevator could be considered the murderer.
I think it's maybe a noble sacrifice on both their parts. He got somebody to take the fall with him.
We'll find out how this plays out.
We'll find out.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So, what was Nekomaru's cause of death that also utilized the building structure?
I think he got crushed by the elevator. Is it possible?
I'm gonna still say beaten with a blunt object. Yeah, he wasn't below the elevator and he didn't move it up. So I guess we're sticking with the blunt object here.
True.
Crap!
I did want to get to the point that the elevator was being involved in this.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh.
Falling. Where was falling?
Oh. Okay, that would work. So let's say that there's a situation in which the elevator's on the bottom floor, and Nekomaru somehow got above it.
Oh.
Maybe he's got some sort of thrusters, or somehow he got onto the top hall, or however you want to call it.
Yeah.
He then swan dives into a pillar, knocking it down and that's how the oil gets on there. That's how he gets mispositioned, and that's how the pillar falls over.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
But the way he's tied up suggests this is not a suicide.
Maybe it was dangled.
I see! That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That, I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
The first floor. Or I'm sorry, the top floor.
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. The night button is probably what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Mekamaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on. Did you forget the elevator has a sensor?
The good night
As
button.
long as there's a moving object inside.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
So they tied him, and I think the loop went around the handle. That's why it got
sensor
yanked
should only
out
work if
eventually.
something is
It
moving.
couldn't handle his weight. But it could handle it long enough for the elevator to reach the 1st floor.
Hold on. So first of all, the broken doorknob is in Strawberry Hall, so it would be up there, yes. The next thing I need to check is that.
Yeah, that looks like it could fit around a doorknob.
Yep, yeah, it could. And that's not tied around the leg.
Yeah, so Mekamaru could have hit the pillar on his way down. The doorknob would hold long enough that obviously he hangs for a little bit, but then eventually it lets go because it can't handle his weight, and he falls.
The only thing about that would be, I thought it said something about it being taken out cleanly.
Look at that.
The screws at the base are pulled out, and there's some scratch marks on the knob itself.
I'm thinking the screws are taken out so they don't hold for very long.
Possibly.
And then the scratching is from the actual wire.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm a little iffy on the screws thing, but maybe that's just what they're going for.
I can't see anything else that the loop could be holding on to hold his weight while you wait for the drop.
Like, the screws are what hold it to the door, so if the screws are completely out, as it's indicating here, then it shouldn't be suspended by anything. And it certainly would not resist Mekamaru going down with the elevator.
Maybe not for very long? Because of the type of weight?
You would need some sort of, like, weak glue or something to hold it up there.
Possibly. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it seems weird that it would be removed so cleanly anyway. I can't think of any other reason why someone would do that.
If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him.
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
I'm worried about how involved Gundam is getting.
Gundam, shut up.
That's what
I
was
don't
about
want it to be
explain
you.
Before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
We did create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Shaki seems to have an idea, but what could that be?
Wire, there it is.
There's also a broken door.
True. We'll find out. Let's listen to the whole dialogue first.
Okay.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
I agree with that. Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob...
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
You said it the same way too.
Huh?
The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower.
Yep.
And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
Even as a robot, he has a snot bubble.
Aww.
That's right! He was so well hung!
Oh gosh.
Kinda like...
You better not finish that sentence.
Thank you.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Okay.
Okay.
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that. Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they suspended him. He's saying that this is strong enough to hold him up. But if the screws were taken out, could they just be taken out while he was being suspended from the opposite side?
It's possible. I don't know how the door looks on the other side, though. But let's try it like that. I can't think of any other way otherwise.
I don't know what to do here, so we'll just see what's happening.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Yeah.
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
I agree with that.
If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do... Now's the time if you want to... But in that case, you still won't be able to explain the drop. Moving the elevator with Nekomaru in is just impossible. End of story.
Okay, so there's something that... So he didn't die on his own. I'm thinking it's the broken doorknob. It was the screws were taken out.
Hold on. This is Kazuichi. I think I figured out how the killer dropped Nekomaru. Right. If I use that evidence, I should be able to break through Kazuichi's remarks too.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Okay, so
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Yeah.
If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that. Now's the time. But in that case, you still won't be able to explain moving the elevator with Neko. It's just impossible. End of story. What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Oh, no.
What?
What the hell are you even saying? I'm not the type of coward to get thrown off by a messed up remark like that.
What's the other stuff?
I can't cut through Kazumichi's rebuttal with this. I need to think it over one more time.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own?
Hang on.
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Mode?
If he was sleeping, there's no way he could do that. Now's the time. But in that case, you still won't be able to explain that moving the elevator with Nekomaru is just impossible. End of story.
Radio clock. He would wake up.
What?
And struggle.
Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
What?
Well,
Really?
Crap.
what else we got?
Nekomaru fell on his own?
Wait, clock's alarm
Nekomaru
timer.
should have still been in sleep mode, right?
There we go.
Allow me to cut through those words. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And that explains why they had to wrap up his arms, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
They look kind of in the middle, but sure.
Yeah, whatever. Fine.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it.
Nope.
If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because...
In that case, I shall use my full power!
With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But...
Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1,000,000 horsepower!
Wait! Isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. And that's really what it was. And that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find.
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig.
It's great introspection, but not the time we need it at.
Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Whoa, no!
Pig, you can say so.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Ah!
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
You can't get...
He gets off on this. So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Oh, I get it. No, it's not about that. It's about Mikan. It's not a cross, it's a hospital sign. Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor.
Nope. He hit the pillar.
Only Nekomaru fell to the floor. The only thing I could think of that happened to him was...
Ah, cola came out of his eyes.
I see.
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Except for the parts where it wasn't.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say?
He even said it with that inflection,
The
too.
alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
Because the clocks are wrong.
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Taichi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Another mystery I don't understand? Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction.
All the clocks were changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, reach out to the truth.
Reach!
Reference
Wall clock, there you go. Let's see.
We...
Wall clock. Wow, that is a mess. The alarm of wall clock in the lounge on Strawberry House's second floor starting going off.
Oh my gosh.
Incidents and has to stop the alarm. Now you tell what apparently the only one who didn't hear it.
Okay.
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
Nope. Other way around.
The alarm that caused Nekomaru's death rang at 7:30 a.m. We discovered his body before 7 a.m.
The one in his chest is obviously the wrong one, but because it's a radio clock, right? It'll basically correct itself because of how it functions.
Yeah.
So that's the incorrect part. What did we hit it with?
Sorry, it sounded like you went in circles there.
No,
the alarm clock must be correct.
Sorry, that's what I mean. I mean, the one that she said that he tampered with the thing in his chest. Even if they did, it wouldn't matter because it corrects itself. It's because of how it functions. He said it transmits or whatever, you know, and so it's always going to be correct.
Yeah. And I did point out that you can mess with that, but considering it seemed to be working inside the fun house, I don't think anyone would have the means to mess with it.
We
I'm
headed
thinking
for Grape
the
Tower.
wall clock, however, can be tampered with.
Before 7 a.m., I am
So they,
certain.
But the
managed
alarm
both.
inside Nekomaru's chest was set...
Sorry, before he goes to town, I think there was something about him arriving at a certain time. So Nekomaru walking toward the first floor of Strawberry House at 5 a.m. Oh, that's interesting. Could be useful. I'm not sure if it contradicts anything that's been said. As well.
It can't be tampered with. Not even to the set. Not even to set the time. Yeah.
So it does have to be those clocks. Let me just go through the yellow text one more time, and then I'll know which one to get.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
This time of...
No, that doesn't contradict. 4:30 a.m. Lounge.
Okay.
Well, actually, hold on.
It said that it's fine.
This doesn't make sense now. So, Nekomaru woke up at 5 a.m.
But he could have been attacked and then put in sleep mode. Then he gets woken up again at the right time.
So first of all, this puts a very tight window on when these events could have taken place. And secondly, this means... Why would Nekomaru wake up before his alarm told him to?
Because he wasn't asleep. He was forcefully put into sleep mode.
I'm aware of that. I'm talking about if he's got an alarm set for 7:30, why does he wake up and start moving around at 5 a.m. if his alarm hasn't gone off?
Because he's already awake with everybody else.
So, hold on. So, my thinking here would be that Nekomaru would wake up with his alarm, which was set for 7:30. And that would corroborate with our idea that maybe the wall clocks were tampered with. It doesn't make sense that he woke up in the first place and then the alarm went off at a later point because his clock is tamper-proof.
But you're assuming that he had to wake up at all. He was still awake with everybody else. It never said that anybody went to sleep yet. It just states that...
Point.
Yeah.
Why would he have an alarm for 7:30 when Monokuma Tai Chi was at 7?
Yeah.
Oh dear. This adamantly says it's tamper-proof. I am not convinced, but we kind of have to go by what the game says. Why would he set it for 7:30? Well, no, Monokuma Tai Chi was at 7:30.
Yeah.
People woke up at 7 o'clock so they would not be late.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make sense to set the alarm for that.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was clearly awake at 5 a.m. anyway. Nobody said that they went to sleep. Except for Nagito, who said he couldn't hear it.
Didn't Fuyuhiko say he woke up early?
No, he was there by coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the lounge. So people were clearly awake.
This too, we heard the rumbling noise at 5:30. Hold on. Is Akane's account in here?
No.
One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tampering.
So want to use a radio clock to...
Probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
It's gotta be clock, alarm, timer, or Fuyuhiko's account.
Because remember, we have no other way to tell what time it is.
Should be radio clock to counteract the kind of statement of being tampered with. Oh, did you say that?
We headed for Grape Tower.
Yeah, she said that they must have tampered with the thing in the guy's chest, and that's not possible.
But the alarm inside was set for 7. Nekomaru died.
His time of death, one of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru.
There we go.
Yep. No, that's wrong. No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No. I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
It's a time-related contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Another hangman. Oh, logic dive. That's better.
Yay!
Hajime and the others misunderstand. I'm the building, who the killer is, where the murder happened, the time of the building. Oops. This is starting to get tricky. Checkpoint. This clock was tampered with. Buildings clocks.
Buildings clocks.
Wrong time. Both houses.
Both.
You know, it's possible that the killer didn't tamper with them. Maybe Monokuma did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not to solve this, or not to confuse this mystery or anything, just to throw off our internal clocks.
Yep.
It's all coming together. You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Well, that said, maybe Nekomaru should have stepped up and said something.
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's
now
not
you're
the time to
happy?
be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
About 2 hours, sounds like. She's right. That's the main problem. Especially since Akane said 5:30 was the rumble sound, so 7:30 match out. Should have been 2 hours behind. I need to clarify by how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. It's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. I think it's Akane's account.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? It's a fact that the clock in Nekomaru's chest is correct, right? So he died at 7:30 a.m. Instead of looking for flaws in our arguments, how about you try thinking a little more seriously?
Crap!
I've made a mistake. I need to think it over one more time.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Yeah,
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
I agree with that. That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
No, it's because she was in the luxury room.
Yeah.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
That rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m. It's like the answer to how much our time was off is literally right in front of me.
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
We're out. Only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, Killer also used a specific thing? They were trying to lure only Nekomaru. And that specific thing is...
Clock's alarm. No.
No.
What? What?
You mean the clock in the lounge that Fuyuhiko and the others heard? Nekomaru didn't go there. What's the point of luring him to the lounge anyway?
No, we're talking about the thing in his chest. But I thought that's what it meant. Whatever.
Are you suggesting that the killer and Nekomaru took a stroll to this crime scene? Just the two of them?
Damn it!
You're right. Let's think it over one more time.
Yeah.
Tai Chi. Massage time.
Massage time.
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Oh, I get it. So the clock is not what was tampered. The alarm was changed.
Yeah.
So Nekomaru probably had the 7 o'clock alarm to get up, go to Tai Chi. And then when he was put into sleep mode and tied up like that, they changed his alarm settings. Which would not be corrected by radio waves.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early! He didn't even ask you yet!
Jeez, how outrageous! I honestly didn't expect everyone to dish Monokuma Tai Chi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez! That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot, or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad!
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it! It's incorrect!
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh? Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Ooh, yeah, it looks like Soda then. Because remembering from back then, we had Nagito, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko in the room with the alarm.
Yeah.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge.
I don't remember who had the good rooms.
Nagito didn't leave.
It's pretty weird that
Sonya
bastard
didn't
never
leave.
came out of his guest room.
And Nagito had one of the good rooms, but
Yeah.
who was the other guy who had a good room? Because they could be excused for not hearing him. Was it Gundam?
Gundam?
He was there when the alarm was ringing.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Or am I misremembering and it was actually Kazuichi who was there and Gundam was missing?
I can't remember. Ah!
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Oh, shit.
Whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Well, it's a 50-50 shot. I think Gundam was hamming it up at the time.
Gundam. I don't want it to be him.
Nope.
Nope, it's Gundam. Ah! No! I don't want it to be him.
Oh, my baby.
No!
The lounge clock started ringing. I immediately rushed over there. That's why, even when the rumbling noise happened when Nekomaru fell, I was still with the others. You're trying to set me up as a killer. I won't let you.
Crap!
You're right. He's not the one who doesn't have an alibi. Wait.
It's Nagito.
Nagito? It can't be Nagito.
Nagito
I
didn't
guess
show
maybe
up.
this is just a false flag. I was aware that the lounge clock was ringing. After all, I rushed over there, didn't I? And then, when the rumbling noise occurred soon after, I was with the others when Nekomaru fell. What would you call this if not an alibi?
We're gonna have to pick Nagito.
Nagito didn't hear the ringing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the one who did this overall, but maybe that's just the way the case wants us to go.
Yeah. It might be just waiting for us to do this.
Sonia definitely heard a ringing.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't?
Yeah, she said that she didn't hear that. But we're talking about the strawberry room. It's
And Nagito didn't hear the rumbling either.
Yeah, Nagito didn't hear it either.
You're the only one!
Ah, really?
The one
Not
who wasn't
him.
there. It's you, right, Nagito?
I don't think this means he's the murderer.
I don't think so either.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and
I think they're wanting us to point out the luxury rooms. I think they're using him as a springboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I misremembered. All three were there.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it.
No, she's in the good room.
It wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Most people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is, these three have in common? Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? I don't remember what they were called, though.
Luxury rooms.
Luxury rooms, okay.
Yeah. There, see? Luxury. Come on, we need an L. Or deluxe room.
Oh, was it? Yeah, deluxe room.
Okay, sorry. Oh crap, there's else too. There you go. Yeah.
I got it! Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room may have so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy room has severe airflow and draft problems.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
At least he's recognizing us as an ultimate now.
Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
He seems to be pointing towards Nekomaru again.
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
But wait, no, you wouldn't need to tie him up and he wouldn't need to flail about if he was killing himself.
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. A killer among us. A killer who murdered Nekomaru.
Aww.
Crap!
What?
Okay, no, I got one.
So
who are we missing here?
Soda?
There's no new evidence that points to him.
No. I can't think of anyone.
Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so Nagito has an alibi being in the high-class room. If they're not immediately pointing fingers here, then Nekomaru must be the other deluxe. Fuyuhiko, Gundam, Kazuichi. Okay, Kazuichi I know had a crummy room. I don't remember how it split out between the others. I think maybe Gundam went for crappy.
Yeah.
So Fuyuhiko goes standard, or no? I think Nekomaru went standard.
Don't think Fuyuhiko did it.
But if Fuyuhiko's the one with the soundproof room, then he's the one who gains for being outside of it. If only I remembered what the room distribution was.
Ah!
Fuyuhiko did it. It was probably a hopeful murder, and he was sacrificing himself. But then we do get back to the issue of we have expressly told him not to sacrifice himself because of Peko.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he can't disregard that.
Yeah. I don't want it to be Gundam, but I'm thinking it's him. I don't want it to be him. I just don't... Like, as far as everybody else's motives, Gundams is like the only ones I could kind of twist into it. Unless it's Soda. But I don't... So there's Soda or Gundam, Soda or Gundam. Ah!
Well, we've got a lot of health.
Yep.
No, okay, good.
Yep. Not him.
I'm really confident right there.
It's your waifu.
Same reason for who couldn't have been last time applied, right? Yeah.
You're the only one!
Really? No!
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
He had one of the deluxe rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right?
Oh, he was.
Not that
Okay,
you
I
were
didn't know.
staying
I
in a
didn't
deluxe
remember.
room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it.
Right. Fuyuhiko went for crappy.
Mm.
I had the right logic, I just couldn't remember the exact layout, so I couldn't piece it together.
Yeah. I was making my based on logic of motive, but yeah.
So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me? After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Hey! What are you doing?
This raucous. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the Netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice.
Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this. Including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction, how many ears do we possess?
Where's your other one?
Huh? The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears.
Huh?
Oh, there he is.
That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
Bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic.
Oh,
the
no.
truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
So you went to the bathroom with all that food and drink in you, right?
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And
perfect
yet,
for
I'm being
Fuyuhiko too,
suspected
but
by
yeah.
all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it?
Hmm?
At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Oh boy.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious?
Nope.
And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
It's wrong. Something is obviously wrong. That's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. That's some dynamic posing for someone who's just thinking to himself.
I know, right?
Oh, it's not here.
What? Alright, let's listen to the argument.
The only means of travel between the two houses.
That's a lie.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Oh, secret
How much
passageway.
longer do you plan to lecture me?
You think he actually won the death game? Too? I know
the
that
killer has to have.
I mean, I know Nagito claimed that he was the only one who could, but you know.
Well, I suppose there is another ridiculous way, and that's, yeah, he had an accomplice, one of his 4 Dark Devas of Destruction.
Yeah. The Dark Deva Destruction.
But you could also start looking at Sonia, because they've become very chummy very quickly.
Oh no.
If she's just an accomplice, she's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, but it's like, So what do we have to work with? We have a blue one. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah. So it's not the good night.
The chain?
That elevator was
the
only means of travel.
Wall clock, contact elevator. Apparently broken on the Great House side, so the last person to use it would have arrived at Great House.
As long as that elevator was broken, you're a sub.
The screws are pulled out?
Hold on. No, because this. It was still there, and Nekomaru would have been on the strawberry level before he dropping, so he must have been in Strawberry House.
So he has an accomplice?
No, the killer just leaves Strawberry House, that's all it is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Nekomaru has to be in the strawberry elevator. Yes, I remember it correctly, because the grape is a hexagon and that's on the bottom. Strawberry is on the top as a rectangle. And so, because of the drop, Nekomaru has to be tied up on the strawberry side.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much
I think
longer
it's
do
a
you plan to
passageway.
lecture me?
Well,
Why
if
don't we
he
stop
clearly
this
he has
already?
a secret passageway because he knows about it.
Well, we haven't proven that.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Oh, I think it's contradictory.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption...
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot...
Since I was at there's no question that the...
It would have been different.
Or if there was a...
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No.
What are you gonna hit it with to prove that, though?
Damn it!
Okay, let's see. What are the choices?
That elevator was
Oh, copy a statement, then fire
Yeah.
the
Only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
So copy the secret passage.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House
Yeah.
at that
I
time,
think you have to copy the secret passageway
there's
and
no
then shoot the
question that
first
the
one.
following crime is impossible.
It's not a secret passage.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Well, it is technically.
There was a
It's
secret
only
passageway.
obtained. It's only
How much
obtained
longer
by
do you
someone
plan
who
to
wins
lecture
the
me?
death game.
Why don't we stop this already?
It is secret.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
It's a trap door. Okay.
That elevator was the only means of travel between.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
I always forget about that.
It's because it's so odd. It doesn't pop up
No,
very often.
There should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito's done it.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Shut up.
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Nagito? Why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the... Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Okay.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
What?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
See, what are they gonna do?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
Oh.
However, how frail I say. Your
Oh, you can go back.
illusion.
Nice.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
This argument is exhausting. Just listening to it makes me tired. You need to skillfully cut back against his words so he
Even
doesn't
if
have
the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
This is gonna be tricky.
What are we supposed to cut it with?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Ha!
probably means try providing the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon. Right? Killer went to the Octagon. If that's the case, I should have it too. He which dwells in the light will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Nope.
What would do that?
Slow. You are too slow, Hajime Hinata. My argument has circumnavigated the Earth twice already.
Okay, what's the evidence though?
This isn't it. Gotta come back with the evidence that he went to the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
The clocks. That's how he changed them all.
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Or the wire. Okay, fine.
He did before he broke the elevators.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't.
Oh, the items themselves. You're
Where
right.
did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
And we identified some of those things were missing.
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
No, let's still do that. It's fun.
No.
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now. Hey, what are you... First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Well, Gundam seems to not like that, but how could you get to that? It was clearly covered over. You don't just ask a bro, hey, can I go around to the back of you and just look at your neck?
I don't know.
Furthermore, that was broken. It wasn't open.
Maybe that's... I have no idea.
It could have broken in the fall, true.
What if he put one of his little hammies on his back and it crawled in and pushed the button? I don't know.
How flimsy is that door then?
I don't know.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Well, I'm glad you're digging yourself into a hole now.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Oh dear.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
Oh my goodness. Okay.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you really don't want to admit it. There. Just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded.
I think this is the rhythm one. Panic talk, yeah.
Left. Reload his tab. Okay.
For the Tanaka Empire! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire!
What?
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! It's Nekomaru's back.
The 4 Dark Devas.
Behind him, so this is the end.
Ah!
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he uses hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's
They've done
neck?
other things.
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through, Supernova Silver Fox Sun D!
It's so cute.
It pressed the button. Truly, this is the skyline lamentation art of the demon mouse.
Yay!
Soon the door of destiny shall open!
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Yep.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
You should not be.
This is not a happy situation.
No. And he's standing too close to Akane. Quick! Okay.
Kiss the pillar, damn it.
Into the arms, chest. Look at them fly!
Even they are silhouetted.
Oh man! Oh. Oh my goodness! Oh, this is insane. Look at the eye-rolling face. Jeez. Oh yeah, you wake up because you hear something. I can't. No.
It's not the right picture for it.
No. He hits the pillar, I guess? I'm set. Yeah. Oh, no, no. That's not it, no. Oh, Nekomaru's weaknesses? The clock?
No, it's the,
oh, what time did Fuyuhiko go back? Go back.
Come on.
Yeah. No, no, back. There's a different one. What time did he see? There. What time? 5. The hamster pressed it! Messing with the... Nope. That has to go somewhere, definitely. Yeah, that. It comes off. It looks like it's lifting. Nope. Back a little bit. Could be putting it on. What is that? Oh, you're moving so fast. One of Rectum's feet.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Nope.
What?
That one.
Alright, this had to have happened after.
Yeah. Oh, there. It began along. Yeah. There we go. That one goes there. That's the only one that isn't repeated. Yeah. There we go.
Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator.
As disappointed as I am with this turn of events, at least T pulled off a pretty impressive murder.
Yeah.
This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, In order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House Lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building.
Who would have had the guts to do it? I'm a little surprised he got through it.
I'm not surprised at all, actually. He's obviously very smart, and he has the kind of
Nekomaru woke up and
delusions of grandeur to survive the Russian roulette.
Yeah, he definitely does have the, as I said, the guts to do it. I would have thought the puzzles would have stumped him.
Nah.
There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but...
His cheeks are even sullen.
Yeah.
By that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower, so he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there.
For dark devas of destruction!
There you go. Wow!
With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck.
With the power of hamsters.
It's amazing.
This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor.
So I guess that's why the reasoning that the screws came out, they were forced out.
Made it seem like they were
He
actually,
crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact.
Soda looks
and
evil.
The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
At least you're sending him off the right way.
James, that was folly. He could have used the distraction of the alarm to sneak back to his room and feigned being asleep. That's my impression.
Only if you're very confident.
Wow.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe you killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that!
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
Huh?
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
The despair I feel at the outcome of this trial is as fathomless as the dark pits of hell itself!
Yeah, this is very disappointing.
It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly.
You guessed right from the beginning. Also remember the third death in the Wizard of Monami movie?
Yeah.
Third death. See, the lion was stuck to the tree. The scarecrow, king before that, committed suicide. And last, the Tin Man
was dismembered.
Was hacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, they're all kind of pale imitations. But it would absolutely make sense that Gundam would want to finish it up.
Well, the point was, it was a Tin Man.
Well, he was also dismembered.
Yeah. Oh.
Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again! Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right! The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka!
Nice!
Yay! I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true that the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well,
I have no right to stop you either. So, do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing! Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Yes, that much should be obvious for anyone who has been here for the past 3 hours. If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain!
Fine then. Then I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse. And I devised a killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my subtle killing intent, and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose a fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Yes, that is what I just said.
I just want to get it really clear.
This.
He was serious, too. He gave it his all to try to kill me.
Huh?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing. There's also the chance that he would have just stood up and fessed up.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
Okay.
That's a great line.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Nekomaru need I! Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
What?
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We were all friends! Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it is still wrong!
I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you this.
However, I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Wait! Are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death?
I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. Huh? Do you mean that you'd rather die?
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life. That's just an insult to life itself!
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog?
Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism.
Listen well!
That is what it means to live! If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but a blasphemy toward life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You... are you saying all that just to justify what you did?
But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but... compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well,
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that... Well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance.
Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you?
I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka!
Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka! History's greatest monster! My cursed existence is feared by all mankind! There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools!
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years! In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible! Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin!
Yes, indeed.
Yay! Got it! I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait.
This is just too much!
I beg of you.
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam!
Huh? It's Sonia.
I beg of you.
Please, I beg of you!
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam!
It's fine to start for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind. However...
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Are the hamsters gonna die with him? Or, like, is Sonya gonna
Please
take
donate
care?
them to Sonia.
Save the hammies! They have a finite life to begin with! Wah. Oh. Wow! Hmm? Aw, they look scared! Aw. Oh, he's making a... yeah. No, Hemis. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to descend to hell. Oh well. No! No!
Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still linger deep in our chests. Don't give up on life. Did I misunderstand what he meant? Then, what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it! You just said it twice. I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
Y'all spent so much time worrying about each other, and thanks to that, things ended up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. But the biggest piece of shit is me.
The worst.
Damn it. Why am I so weak?
Oh. It's such a downer, clearly. But still, even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us.
You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all.
You said that last time, but okay.
So, I mean, maybe we'll allow it to happen 1, maybe 2 more times, but after that is it. We are done. I'm going to be only so lenient on this. Don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that!
Hey! So, how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? The class trial is over, so it's okay for you to hurry back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait! Hold on! How much longer are you gonna keep doing this?
Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? How long is this going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, after feeling down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
You recovered quickly.
Hey!
Hold on a sec! That mood shift is too damn fast!
It's not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam and Nekomaru said. That's what it means to live, right?
She's certainly something else.
But seriously, I'm starving.
Hey. Then, let's go back now and eat. And then, after we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
And then, let's do our best again.
Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trial has come to an end, and once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. The size of our group has definitely diminished. But despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial. At that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming before us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight.
Nagito?
Yep, I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that, I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with other matters. Or maybe they reached their limit? Regardless, I was saved. Things could get complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
Damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
All right! Monokuma has arrived. Who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming.
What's this?
Why, it's the lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
So, what's up? Your face looks scary.
I see. So you can tell.
Perhaps you found out who the traitor is.
You know me well.
Well,
is what I'd like to say, but unfortunately I haven't learned that yet.
I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown is gonna take a little more time.
Hello.
So, why'd you summon me anyway? Were you finally gonna confess your love?
hey.
I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room.
Oh yeah. What about it?
There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
You don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hiding among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hope's Peak Academy, right?
Of course.
That's right! I just reused the stuff that the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But
if this file even contains information about the traitor, was that person also a former student of Hope's Peak Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
Hey.
Could it be... Is this your doing? Did you slip false information into the file? Are you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information?
What's wrong with that? If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
Well...
That's not my point.
Right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is.
What's wrong with that?
You're getting all riled up.
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say I knew who the traitor was all along. But even though I know who it is, why do you think I ignored it on purpose? It's just like Monami after losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me.
Their existence means nothing, huh?
No.
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff.
That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh? Cooperation?
Hey.
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with despair, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too.
Right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is.
I see. Interesting. Very interesting.
No, no, no!
Obviously, that's a big no-no!
Unbelievable.
I mean, I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you, too?
Well,
I knew you'd say that.
Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on.
Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
you're right.
No matter what situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, stepladders such as myself and despair exist.
You're right. You're a true believer of hope, after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
Huh?
Reminds you? I don't know what you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like...
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Wow.
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
You don't know?
Wouldn't you say that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I have to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll become an existence that could even be called ultimate hope.
The two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey,
there's one more thing I want to ask you.
See?
Who are you waiting for on this island?
Huh?
Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey.
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting?
Days left.
And a half. So about noonish.
Aww. Hellhoundy ring.
Much sadness. I miss Gundam already.
Me too.
Oh well, so it goes. So that is going to wrap up today. Hope everyone had a good time. At least, as best you can, given the circumstances. Until next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.